I'm not worried about Dak Prescott's play if he's healthy. I do think, and Joe Theismann was on my radio show last week talking about how when you have an injury to a lower extremity, like why does the shoulder show up? Now, obviously, it makes sense. You need to compensate somehow, right? And so that could be an ongoing concern because once there's a weakness and you're getting hit and all that, okay. And he hasn't practiced a lot, but Dak is a very good player. And as I said earlier, Jeff, if there was any questions, I knew he was good. My question is could he be elite, or is he looking a little better than he really is based on, playing from behind and they have to air it out? He's putting up numbers, great offensive line. Then you saw Andy Dalton play for that same team. You're like, oh, no. Dak is a huge plus over a replacement level guy. And Andy Dalton knows what he's doing. He's a competent guy. And Dak is just much, much better. I'll say this, why I'm confident also. Guys, if it doesn't work out, if they have a bad season, and I'm anticipating the Cowboys underperform this year, as usual.
What?
Yep. As usual. It happens every year. Why is everyone acting surprised? Dak was healthy 2 years ago, and they were 8-8. They didn't make the playoffs, and it was the worst division ever. And then last year, he was under 500 when he got hurt. Let's not act like this is something new. But if it doesn't work out, let me tell you the list of people who will be blamed before Dak, because we can see Dak can play, right? Number one, we're going to say if he's not protected, if he were to get hurt again, the offensive line was not the same as it used to be, where it was every year the best in the league. It was like that old offensive line when they were winning Super Bowls. That was the best in the business. Not that anymore. It wasn't, last year because of injury. Maybe they can't get back there. Two, if Ezekiel Elliott doesn't run like we think he can, Zeke got paid. He was never the same, even though he came in shape. And if the offensive line isn't as good as it used to be, that can happen too. Three, this probably should have been one. The defense. The defense was one of the worst defenses you will ever see last year. They can be significantly better and still be among the worst in the league, right? And then finally, if it's none of those things, or even if you cycle through each one of them and address them, we're going to blame the coach. We're going to say Mike McCarthy shouldn't have had the job in the first place. To my mind, Dak has 3-4 levels of excuses and other places to look, and at least 2 seasons of that before he's looked at. And because I know he is good, I'm saying I'm confident that Dak won't be part of the problem. He'll be part of the solution.
Okay, so Jeff, you just heard that Max say he believes that the Cowboys are going to underperform this season yet again. I want to ask you, because you seem to have a lot of confidence in Dak Prescott. We know he's a big difference maker. Do you see Dallas as the favorites to win the NFC East?
I do. And listen, as good as the Washington football team is, I think this is the year they take a step. And I'll tell you why. As much as we like Todd Bowles, I like Dan Quinn. And I think the defensive coordinator, I know it's going to take time to get his defense and the right players in the right spot. One thing that you can guarantee about a Dan Quinn coach defense, they will hustle. They will flat out fly around. And that makes a difference in the NFL. And it sounds so cliche, but the truth is, so many plays last year for Dallas was lack of effort, and you will not have that with DQ. So when I look at that, I think that brings that defense up to a mid-tier defense, and with the offense the Cowboys have, I think they set themselves apart in the NFC East this season.
Jeff, I agree with you. I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the NFC East. And when you look at this defense, Jeff, the defense doesn't have to be great because of what they have offensively. Right. They just have to be decent and do enough to get them over the hump so the offense can take them to the promised land. Now, let's get to Max for a second. Max, you think the New York Football Giants is going to win the NFC East, right?
Well, I did.
Max, just answer the question. Yes or no?
No, I have to go Washington at this point because I've seen the offensive line in the preseason.
Okay, Jeff.
That's the problem. I can't believe it's worse than ever.
Jeff, I asked him that because I was going to let you go and tell him and ask him, is he high? By even saying that.
Yes.
Here we go.
Look, here was my thought. Let me say, Jeff.
He knows.
Yeah. Jeff, let me just say, this was my thought. Dallas has the best offense. Mm-hmm. Washington has the best defense.
Correct.
If the Giants' O-line just improved 10, 15%, the Giants would have the second best offense and second best defense in the conference. They'd be the most well-rounded team. I thought they looked well coached last year. They have a ton of talent on offense now. They had a nice, good defense. I wouldn't say elite, but maybe the step below elite defense in the NFL. So I thought they were the most well-balanced team. I've seen preseason that, if anything, the offensive line looks worse than ever. So I have to, at this moment, move off the Giants. Now, look, Fitzmagic, if that's your starting quarterback, what that means is you don't have a quarterback. No knock against him.
Damn.
He is an NFL quarterback with a long and good career, mostly
But I do love his
super
energy.
backup or as a starter in the absence of a real franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
I'll still take them over the Cowboys.
No, so listen. Let me start with the Giants and the 2-2 because I do agree. Here's the problem with the Giants. The Giants could honestly make some tweaks and changes, like maybe move Solder back over to left, and I think it was Pratt, I can't remember the guy who the right tackle for him last year. Put him back over. I mean, that's it. Yeah, put him back over. Get kind of solidify that back over. There's some moves that they could potentially make because the Thomas situation. He has to be better just one-on-one. Like, it's not a schematic issue. And if they can get his performance up, I agree they could make a huge step. The problem for me with the Giants is you have a quarterback who doesn't get rid of the ball quickly. You have an offensive line that's kind of on tilt. Those two combinations lead to more turnovers for Daniel Jones. That's going to be the problem, right? Their defense will keep them in games, but the problem is Daniel Jones will sit in the pocket a little too long. The edge won't be quite as clean as it should be, and I think that's when turnovers rack up when you look at this.
Let me ask you something. Is Eric Flowers a left tackle in the NFL right now? Like, Eric Flowers, actually, he can play some left tackle. Not on the Giants, he couldn't. They spent, the 9th pick in the draft on him? Andrew Thomas, they had their pick of any left tackle in the draft. There were tons of good ones. They took the worst one, right? Like, but is he actually the worst one? Or is it that he plays for the Giants and they can't coach the offensive line? Jeff, I'm asking. I don't know. All I know is it's been a decade since they've had an offensive line.
Who picked those guys, Max?
Don't start me on Gettleman. Don't start me on Gettleman. Don't start me on Gettleman.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.